He works in government contracting. He deals with some of the biggest firms in town. And he works with them to deal with technology and modernizing their systems. And I'm going to turn it over to Ari to talk to you about how he gets them to embrace technology and how you can as well.
So after talking to Ben, I changed my presentation just a tad. I want to talk about what is possible in terms of municipalities and what you can put into RFPs to get contractors to do what you want them to do and provide for the public. So I live close to 30th and Upus in North Park. They're always digging up the street. I do not know what the hell is going on there. Is it undergrounding? Is it because they're building this North Parker building and they need to like make the sewers larger or something? They also changed the Jack in the Box from, remember, Thou Who Shall Not Be Named was involved. So I want us to go back to high school and think about how things happened in high school, and then we're going to come back to how we can solve problems today. So in high school, there's this concept of making it official. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? So let's say if you're in a relationship, there was always this, cheerleader and football player type of relationship in high school. You guys are generally around my age, and we didn't have the internet in high school, so I want to explain how it works now. You get into a lovely relationship. There's love. There's all these emotions and everything, so in my high school there was Amy Spears and Mike Hutchinson, and that was the relationship. So if I was in high school today, and the next slide is they break up. So I'm going to move ahead so I can cover more. But they break up, and so what happens in terms of making it official? Does anybody know? Does anybody have high schoolers in their house? You go to your Facebook page and you change your relationship status from in a relationship to either it's complicated or single. And so what happens is, all of a sudden, these two very, attractive people are on the market, right? So, but now, when they change that, everybody knows. So, including, dorky Jewish, Nirvana fans like myself, would find out. That's what I was in high school, by the way, Nirvana. I wasn't a Pearl Jam fan. And I was in Portland, Oregon, so anyway, let's get back. I would be left out of that situation. I wouldn't learn that the hottest girl in school just broke up with the football player, right? But on Facebook, if she changes her status and I'm connected to her, I would figure that out. So what that does is it changes the stakeholders in terms of the girl getting a better boyfriend the next time, or who's available next time. And so stakeholders are the folks that are all involved in a project. And when you do a large construction project, there are many stakeholders. One of the stakeholders is obviously the project manager for the construction firm or the public management. So these are folks that are involved in these are stakeholders. So let's do an analogy in terms of what type of stakeholders there are on a construction project. Because this is a new world that we live in. It's not the world that we all went to high school in. And this is standard in today's society, but in many cases, municipalities are not thinking this way about making things official. And by that I mean, when a street is paved, the contractor should make it official, right? So that everybody knows that that street is paved or is going to be paved or there was a problem. And all of us are stakeholders, just like the Jewish Nirvana kid who would be left out. And we're currently left out. That's sort of the point. So, the city has to set up a big IT system, right? That's what we're talking about, that the contractor would be a small part of, right? And that's going to be problematic, right? It's going to be very expensive. The city is going to invest $20 million. It's going to do half of what they expect it to do. And so I want to say that there's a better way. In the RFP, so this is like a database and mapping services, and then the map, and then these are the ways that you interact with the database. So you can outline for the contractor to do all this work as part of the contract. And then the city can consume those services and also mash them up with other services that might come from other places. And then share that through the City of San Diego's website. So it's all about implementing standards in those RFPs. And so the next step is we might have $50 million of asphalt overlay work that's going on, and we might have 3 contractors working on that at any one given time. If we outline in the RFP that they need to do this, they need to do this, they need to do this, and they need to share it, then the City of San Diego can have a website that would show where every street was getting paved, what is to be paved, what hasn't been paved, but it's all about implementing those standards. And I also want to say, I don't think you should add 1 penny to any RFP in order to make this kind of thing happen, because there's benefits for the contractor in terms of them knowing which streets are paved, which aren't paved, where are they encountering problems, but they're not doing this either. And just, we work closely with them. They wouldn't have Outlook unless somebody told them they needed to have it. They don't do anything unless it's written in that RFP. Street's not going to get striping. So if you outline it in the RFP, you'll get what you want. Another item here is that, so the contractor isn't the only one touching the city assets. The city is touching them. And the next step is San Diego County Water Authority is also touching some of those assets. The Sandag is also. So the point is that you can outline for them to give you back data in real time, and you can just be an orchestrator of that information instead of having to set up some large IT system.